Good day, dear compatriots. The Unified Information Center from Yerevan continues its work. First of all, a number of information pieces from the front line in Artsakh. From the morning, the adversary started large-scale attacks along the line, and our troops were trying hard to counter the attack. And at the same time, the armed forces of Azerbaijan started to shell and bomb the capital of Artsakh, Stepanakert. At this point, we're trying to find out the exact numbers of the casualties. Well, at night, we had comparatively quiet situation, but from the morning, the tension started. Some time ago, recently, information on behalf of Azerbaijan was disseminated that allegedly from Armenia, there was a shelling and bombing of the civilian settlements, and this is a blatant lie, this is misinformation. And so we were trying to make the adversary show from where they think the shelling or bombing is coming. And here we should note, very interestingly, that very often some regions of Artsakh, directly or indirectly, are recognized as part of Armenia. This line is purposefully led by the Azerbaijani. And now I want to give the floor to my partner, and then we will discuss issues of other types related to the war. Thank you. Dear compatriots, first of all, I want to thank you, the entire diaspora and Armenians worldwide in Armenia. And I want to say that this is a good initiative to help the All-Armenian Fund, and this is not only an activity to involve the Armenian Fund, because our staff members are working in all the areas of the globe, and there is no community that doesn't involve itself in this support, and they are sending money, their assistance, and the phone lines of our fund and all the representations worldwide are actively involved. They are intensively working, and I want to thank all the parties, all the actors, all the political parties, benefactors, large and small donors, and all our compatriots who even do not spare their last monies, and they are donating it to the All-Armenian Fund. And here, standing here before you, when Artsrun Hovhannisyan was speaking, I just imagined that Artsrun Hovhannisyan in himself represents the front line, and me, the modest one. We are just representing the diaspora with our part of contribution. We should have this rear work also in place, so that without that rear activities we would not be successful either. And that is why I'm asking everyone to continue the support, and we should accumulate quite considerable amounts. And we had two pieces of very good information. The chairperson Hovhannisyan of the Hovhannisyan Foundation, he made the following step, and he sent 3 million of Armenian drams to US dollars to Armenia. And Louis Simon's, Alek Manukyan's foundation, Christine Simon, also 3 million, the same amount, $3 million were sent to Armenia by them. Hayastan and friends in Los Angeles, 1 million was their contribution. This is all about this recent 1 hour. And yesterday I had some discussion with the Armenian All-Armenian General Benevolent Union, because they also joined this fundraising, and we decided that if they have accumulated up to $5 million on their accounts, they would double it themselves and transfer it to All-Armenian Fund. Well, I don't want to name nations, countries, towns, but I want to say from Vladivostok, Northern Africa, both Americas, there are some communities which have never been active. For example, Cleveland community, very many communities in Russia, in Yekaterinburg, for example, I mean, in all towns even, I should say. They are all involved, and also flash mobs are taking place, and people are initiating these flash mobs themselves, and they are trying to fundraise as much as possible and to send the money to Armenia so that we're able to back up our front line. These amounts are very necessary. These are for our victory. This much at this point. Thank you. Yes, I want to build on this topic, and I want to say that I'm getting thousands of calls per day from all corners of the world, from all Armenians worldwide, and I want to say that it will be much more purposeful, much more reasonable to send all these transfers to the All-Armenian Fund if our RIU is somehow back, then the front line is also very strong. Well, if there are not any questions, no, we do have some questions. Let's try to respond to the questions. Shabbat AM Information Media says, are there any live wounded from the adversary? I don't have such information, and we don't discuss this question at this point. Arabot AM, how would you evaluate the Twitter announcement by the adversary about the Armenian counterattacks and shelling? Well, I already answered that. We had the same behavior prior to Vardenis attack of Azerbaijan, and very often, I want to repeat, Azerbaijan recognizes some parts of Artsakh like Armenia and refers to them as Armenia. Zakir Hasanov, why he is hidden? Well, I don't think he's a very notable person not to be there. Well, I already dwelled on that about allegedly Armenian attacks, and very often people are placing or posting soldiers' pictures to search for them, and you know it is wartime, it is war process, and we could have such situations that wounded soldiers would be in some hospitals or on the way. We could be a little bit late in our identification of the soldiers, and we will be trying our best to rectify our mistakes, if any, regarding the identities of the fatalities and casualties. Please tell whether Stepanakert was shelled. Artsrun Hovhannisyan says it's artillery attack. It is some Turkish artillery attacks. And couldn't we somehow counteract and somehow silence this? Well, we are trying to do that within the boundaries of possibilities, but take into consideration that the adversary's forces are much more, many times more. And also, the adversary was also announcing that they have liberated inverted commas, some settlements, where they also spoke about Madaris, and I responded to that yesterday, that they were fleeing from there. Nothing of the kind is registered. And also, I'm also calling on all our Armenians worldwide to assist in transferring amounts to the All-Armenian Fund, so that we're able to become stronger and to be able to counteract to the offensive behavior of the adversary. And I want to say that we will win, and all the nations worldwide understand what is going on. But the states, the people do understand, but the states do not understand that sometimes, or just choose to be inactive. Well, perhaps the question would be whether the Russian collective defense organization will be involved. Well, I can't answer that question because this is from the political domain. I can't answer that. And also we have some questions regarding the fund, All-Armenian Fund. And once again, I want to call on our Armenians and to be more active. And this is perhaps the most crucial, decisive point of the Armenian fate. Very often the amounts are somehow brought to dust when they are spent to small, tiny things like food and cigarettes and so on. It's better to channel them to the All-Armenian Fund so that we can act on that effectively. Well, this much I have something to add. I want to comment on a couple of questions because very many questions come regarding the usage of the All-Armenian Fund resources. I want to say that based on a unified decision, these amounts are used because for the Armenian and Artsakh crisis is what it is created for. Well, the funds could go to the vehicles, to the footwear for soldiers, for the wounded sisters and brothers of ours in the front line, also health equipment and provision of such equipment. That is, whatever is needed, these humanitarian amounts would be spent on that. Be sure, be confident that apart from this unified decision, no amounts are spent, and such decisions are in the bottom line of all the spendings. And also, some people say that they have difficulty sending money, transferring money in an online regime. I want to say, reassure, it is not so difficult. You could either get registered in our domain, in our web page, and there is a 3D verification. When you make a transfer through our website, you get a code, and this is your last step, and then when you put into the required place, then the transfer is effected, or you could do that through the banks. And also, once again, a call on Armenians to fundraise more actively, and also I call on Armenians and all the benefactors or well-to-do people who live both in Armenia and abroad, be active. This is very important. This is very necessary for us. So please do that. Make that step. and also even not for anything else, for the calmness of your heart, of your mind, you could do, and we should not leave any Armenian inactive in this situation. This much as for now. Please follow us.